Hello everyone, welcome to Quantum Academy's creative writing class. My name is Rosa. Today we're going to be looking at a very useful technique that you can use in your descriptive writing or your narrative writing, and it is imagery. So first of all, let's think about, what is imagery? So what do you see in the word imagery? Perhaps you can see image, the word image. So what does image mean? Image means it's a picture. So it's a picture of a flower, perhaps, a picture, and when you're doing descriptive writing, when you're using imagery, you're probably using imagery to describe a particular scene, what is happening to the character, or what is happening in that situation. So you're trying to, imagery will help you create that picture, the full picture of what you're trying to say. So imagery is a very useful tool, and imagery actually involves your five senses. So the most common sense that we usually use is sight, so we can see, and a very common sensory that writers use in their image writing is for sound, and there's also smell, there's also taste, and there's also your touch. Okay, so these are your five senses involving your eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and your fingertips. Okay, so why do we use imagery? Why is imagery important? Imagery is important, like I said, because when you use that in your writing, it would create a big picture for your audience. But another example that I always use with my students is if you think about the movies that you see, because the traditional movie, we have your regular in 2D movies, right, so that we watch. But later on, people started inventing the 3D movies, which you can actually smell, or sometimes now they have also 4D movies where they can actually move you feel the movement. So feel and touch, that's one of your sensory as well. Okay, so when you go to movies, of course, your 4D movies, 3D movies, you actually feel like you're right there with the movie characters. So same thing, that's what you want to do for your writing too. You want to make your readers to feel like they're right there at the scene with your character, with your protagonists. Okay, so the more sensory stimulation there is that's used in your writing, the more realistic your stories will feel. So that is why we want to make sure we know how to use imagery efficiently. Okay, so now let's give it a try. Emma is sad. Let's say you're writing about a story about Emma, and then that day she's sad. Emma is sad is a very plain 2D description, and it just tells us right away how she feels. But what we want to do is through imagery we can actually show how she feels. So we're going to practice in here to use our the sight imagery. So when you see Emma is sad, so think about what kind of picture would you see? Would you see a little happy girl, smiling girl, or would you see a girl kind of shoulders down, head down, looking a bit sad and depressed? So probably we're gonna go with a picture on the right here. Okay, for Emma is sad. So that would be the image you want to create for your readers. So now we can write those features down. So the sight of a sad person, you will actually see, okay, head down and probably not looking at anyone, so avoiding all eye contact, and probably walking very slowly too. When you're feeling sad, you're not very upbeat, so definitely. Okay, now when we use the imagery in that sentence, we can change from Emma is sad to this new sentence involving or describing more of what she looks like when she's sad. So looking down and dragging her feet, Emma slowly treads home. So this kind of tells you, okay, she's looking down and she's dragging her feet. So you're describing it through sight, what I see. And then she's slowly walking home. And the verb choice is actually quite important. Here we choose tread. And we'll talk about that a bit more in our other sessions. Okay, so now you know you can use imagery in your writing. So it's your turn to try. So let's use this happy little girl, the happy Emma. So we just used the sad Emma. Now we have a happy Emma. So what do you see in this picture? So what kind of actions would a happy person have? So do you think so let's put our little Emma here. So we'll definitely see a happy person smiling, right? And we'll also see sometimes a happy person waving, saying hi. And also a happy person will probably be skipping across the road. Okay, so now with these three features, you don't have to use all three. So you can actually incorporate a couple, or skillfully, depending on how strong your writing is, you can incorporate all three. So smiling and waving, Emma skips across the road. So that gives you the imagery of a really happy little girl. So very, very visual. So because we use the sight sensory here to describe. Okay, so this is our unit about using imagery. And if you would like to learn more, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also you can like our Facebook page. We will be talking about more effective use of different writing techniques in our other units. Thanks for watching.